Hello and welcome, and thank you for joining me. Today we're going to look into how to set up a household model inside Salesforce Health Cloud using person account. So Salesforce actually now recommends using person account for your patient model setup going forward. So if you're starting with Health Cloud, or maybe you already are using Service Cloud and extending into Health Cloud, make sure you are using person account model and not the individual model, which was the older version of it. So in order to do that, whenever you sign up for a trial org or you install the Health Cloud, you can actually sign up for a trial org for 30 days if you just want to try it out as well. Make sure that you go to custom settings. So once you go to custom settings, you'll find a custom setting called use person account. Go to manage and actually edit that and set that to enable. So what this will tell Salesforce Health Cloud to actually start using person account instead of the individual model. So once you do that, you'll start running into some issues. In order to fix that, you need to go to custom metadata types, and here you'll have to go to individual record type mapper, then create a new record here for person account. So you can call it person account, and account record type needs to be person account API name. It should match exactly like that. I signed up for a developer org and it already came enabled, but if you sign up for a trial org, some chances are it won't have that option already. So definitely set that up before we start looking into household. Okay, so let's get into household. And if you're not familiar with person account, it's not specific to Health Cloud. Person account are used in different scenarios wherever you have, let's say, B2C situation where you're dealing with a customer or maybe a single person instead of a company. So person account is like a combination of contact and account. So in fact, anytime you're creating a person account in the background, it also creates a contact. So you'll be able to see both account fields as well as contact fields on the same kind of combination. And when you're creating an account, it's important to note that a person account is really just a record type under account. Also, additionally, if you want to make any changes on the person account layout, so let's say if you want to add additional fields and whatnot, you'll actually have to go to Object Manager and go to person account object and not the account object, and then add the fields here. Because if you add it to the account, it will not make any difference in the patient layout or the person account layout. So from this point on, whenever I say patient, I'm really talking about the person account. Okay, so let's get to the household. And this is the Health Cloud Lightning console that Health Cloud comes with. And anytime you open a patient data, it will have these sub-tabs opened up. So you'll have all care plans, timeline, and household. Okay, so to save time, I already created a person account or a patient. So basically the way to do that is you'll just go to accounts and create a new. So when you select new, so you'll have to make sure you go to new here, making sure you're selecting person account, and then hit next and create the patient. So once you have the patient, I'm landed here. Now I'll go to household, and you can add household here. So either A, you can search for a household that you already might have created or set up. Maybe you already have the data loaded. In that case, you can just pick it up from here. Let's say we didn't have that. So you'll go to new account, and really household is nothing but a different account record type. So it's a household record type. So hit household. So if you're loading household from a different system, make sure you're loading into the household record types and not creating your own record type, because Health Cloud already comes with it. So I'm going to say my last name, household, and it could be really anything, whatever you have in your database. So I'm just creating a household here, hitting save. And as you can see here, contact, this is the contact and not the account lookup, which is very important to note, because I'm not directly connecting my Tima Shri patient data to this account. I'm actually connecting, like I said, person account always creates a contact in the background. So that's the contact that's getting associated to the household. So hit save. And this is why we are using account contact relationship. So just quickly looking at the actual data model. So we've got the household account, which is nothing but an account object. Then we've got the another account object, which is the person account record type, and that has a contact associated with it. So think of it like a pair. So anytime you have a person account, you'll have a contact, same contact. So this contact is associated to the household account using the account contact relation object. This is just a junction which has two lookups to it. One lookup to account and the other looks up to contact. So, which is what we have here, account contact relationship. The account lookup is to household and the contact lookup is to my patient contact. Now let's take a look at the household again and see what else is available. So household is really, think of household as like a combination of all the different records, basically a single pane of glass for the patient or the customer service, whoever is talking to the patient can come to a single place and kind of get an overall picture of the patient. So you can look at all the different household members, who else is in that household. We can also relate things like your insurance companies, maybe your employer who is funding the insurance, or it could be some other companies that you're working with, or hospitals. Your related contacts could be the nurse or a provider or doctor or maybe your driver. So anybody we want to associate with that patient, we can do that in the household. It's really flexible. So let's say if I wanted to add contact. Now I'm also going to show you some of the errors that you'll encounter. So let's say I don't have a related contact and I wanted to add one. And I'm going to select individual just to show you something. I'm going to select individual and just add some random contact. Try to save it. And quickly it's going to throw me an error saying I cannot create an account or contact using individual record type because I enabled person accounts by using that checkbox. So the good idea is to actually remove this from available record types altogether so your users don't run into this error. Okay, so what can we then add here? We can actually have a business contact, for example. So you can actually create a business contact and that will work just fine. I'm just going to select one that I already had here, test person perhaps. And the role, I'm just going to say it's a colleague. And the related role is also interesting. This is a separate object. Salesforce already comes with some roles for you like CEO, like colleague, niece, nephew, uncle, aunt. Those different relations that you can imagine already comes with it, and there are two fields in that reciprocal role. So check that out as well. Hit active and save. Also reciprocal role, sometimes in my org it didn't have a tab, so I had to create a tab as well. So just a quick note there. Okay, so I created a relationship with the person, and now if you notice here, it's a contact relationship. So my contact, my patient contact, and this other contact are associated. So contact is actually just relation between two contacts. So you can also relate them like that. So that's another thing about household. So let's go back, exit out of this, and look at the household again. So I added test person as a colleague. Now, adding a member. So adding a member could be anything. So let's say you already have my sisters, my uncle, aunt, mom, dad, everybody in the system already as patients. You can just pick them directly. So let's say I wanted to add my sister here. I created this as a patient. Even though I'm looking at the contact, because every patient has a contact, I can add that here. Maybe you can add roles here. So I'm just going to say sibling. Hit save. So again, I'm creating account contact relationship here, going back to household, and that says sibling. I could also choose to just use a regular contact. So let's say I'm going to pick a different contact. This contact is not a patient, it's just a regular contact. And maybe I want to say this is my influencer, for example. Hit save. Ideally, I don't know why anybody would want to add a contact inside the household. Maybe you didn't create the patient, and that's fine, you could add it. But usually these are like the patient. Or maybe the contact just exists and they're not patients yet. So that could be a situation where you want to add those contacts as household and not the patient in themselves. So if I click on this, it will actually take me to a contact record because it's a business contact and it's not a person account. But if I click on the other one, if I click on this my sibling record, it will actually take me to a patient, because even though it's a contact, it's actually really a person account with the contact in the background. So it will always navigate me to the account. As you can see here in the URL, I have the account. This can take getting some used to, because if you're not familiar and if you haven't used person account, then just note that anytime you're creating an account with a person account record type, no matter you click on contact, it will always take you to the person account. You cannot really access the contact from UI. You can always do that from backend. Now let's take a look at another component of household as well. So there is something called care plan that you can associate your patient with. So this is really the case object, and we can look into it more detail. But basically, anytime if you have a care plan associated with the patient, you can also see that on the household. So it will show you what care plan they are in. Maybe they are in knee pain management or diabetes management, whatever the care plan they are in. It will show you that, as well as the care coordinator. So you can easily see, okay, April is the person taking care of this patient as a care coordinator. Care coordinator is nothing but the care team member. So you can add care team members directly here. So it's really very nice UI visual, like a one-stop shop for the patient. If you are a customer rep, they can come here and actually get a view of everything that the patient is up to and what they're related to and so forth. So I hope that was helpful. I highly recommend checking out this trailhead, which actually shows you all the different types of roles that you can expect, different relations. So mainly there is account contact relation and contact relation. You can use it in different ways depending on your use case. And also there's a really good help document that actually shows you different settings that you need to do. I'll share all these links in the description. Thank you so much for watching.